Good morning, everyone. It is like 8:15 in the morning, and all I want to do is crawl back in bed under the sheets. Ira's still sleeping, and Levi is actually being quiet. But, as you guys would have seen in my last vlog, I have been trying to be a little bit healthier, and I have fallen off the bandwagon like the last week and a half to 2 weeks. I've still been eating pretty decent, but like I've not been going for my mile-long walks in the morning or like at all. And I need to get back into doing that. So 8:15, need to get dressed, need to get going because Levi has school this afternoon and I'm sure he's gonna want to come with me. He's been asking to go back to the park so we can walk our mile and play at the playground. So also colored my hair. It's not anything drastically different. It's pretty close to my natural color, just maybe a shade or so darker. I don't know how well it shows up in here. Lighting is awful, but I had a few grays coming in, so went ahead and colored that. So, oh, and I got my hair cut. I mean, I haven't brushed it out, so I don't know how well you can tell, but just a light trim off the edge or the ends, and then I've got a little bit of fringe now. You can see it starts right there, where it was all the same length before. So nothing drastic, but I thought I'd show you. So I'm gonna get dressed and I will meet you guys at the park. Trying to leave the house. Look what I managed to do. Hit the side of the garage. And that is the second time in 5 years that I've done this. First time, I hit it on this side and it knocked the wall out of place and completely jacked up our garage door. Just can't really open that very well anymore. This time, hit the side. I hate this parking space. It's such a tight squeeze to get in and out of. But thankfully the only thing broken really is this piece of siding. So hopefully we can go to Menards and find a corner strip of siding and replace that easily enough. But there is a bit of broken wood in there. A little tiny bit right there. Don't know how important that is. And my car is scratched. It's a good way to start the morning.
We gotta see the butterfly.
Oh, some little yellow flowers. Did you see these?
Oh,
Look at these little yellow flowers.
can I get you one?
They're very sweet, but we're not supposed to pick the flowers out here, bud.
Can I get
Here, you want to pick me one of these flowers?
Okay.
You can pick one of those. It's called a clover.
And this you don't.
Yeah, those are for the butterflies. There's a sign up there that says don't pick the flowers. Because the butterflies have hungry tummies, remember?
And the sign says.
Yeah, the sign down there says don't pick the flowers. But you can pick me one of the white flowers. It's a clover.
Oh,
Leaves are just as good. Thank you. You ready to go on our walk?
I'm gonna get you white flower.
Okay, you pick me a white flower.
I got you one.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
We're going down the track.
Yep, let's go get on our walk.
And we can play in the playground.
Come on.
We're going up the hill. We're going up the hill.
On our way here, I passed like a really overgrown wooded pasture that used to have cows all the time, but I haven't seen cows in it in years. Well, I see this black creature hunched over down by the creek, and my first thought is that it's a black bear. And I'm in like north central Indiana. We don't have black bears up here. We have them in the southern part of the state. So I'm saying, yep, benefits of the urban forest.
And another one
Yeah, that's the one that says don't pick flowers.
with the mother.
You count them. So we have to stop at every sign. So anyways, yeah, I thought it was a black bear, and I'm like I said, sometimes our mistake gets them in the southern part. They wander in from like Kentucky,
Go that
but
way.
yeah, up where I'm at, no black bears.
This way.
And as I got closer, I realized it was a cow. We're not going that way. Come on.
The downhill.
Yep, go downhill. Yeah, I realized it was a cow. I was like, oh my god. I really thought it was a black bear because just the way it was hunched over, it just looked like a black bear.
I got you another leaf.
Thank you, buddy.
It's yellow.
It is yellow.
I got another one.
Can you hold my hand? There's a big doggy coming. Breakfast today is cottage cheese with pineapple. And I got a vanilla Coke on the way home. So a little trick to getting your wax melts out of your disc is pop them in the freezer and they should pop right out. I just put this one in and a moth apparently died. Flew into the wax at some point. But I have this candle down here because I don't burn candles. They kind of freak me out. I'm paranoid they're gonna fall over and catch the house on fire. I got this in here. So we should be able to pop the wax out and then just cut it up. So I'm just gonna take a butter knife and in theory, I've done that before, but it's been a while. It's either, oh, this one's just gonna crack. That's fine. Makes it easier. Sometimes they like stick to your wax melt and you twist them and they pop right out. Other ones are gonna break to get out, but I'm gonna break it anyways once it's out, so it don't really matter. And I'll just put them in a Ziploc baggie. I picked this one up at the Dollar Tree the other day and it smells so good. I can't wait to put it in the wax warmer. So here's an issue I'm having with this one, and I've never had this problem before. But there is so much glue down here, you can see all this stuck out. And I'm having a hard time getting these pieces to break away from the glue around the base of the wick. Okay, I've got all the pieces out and they're in pretty good sizes just to throw into my wax warmer. So that works out. So now I'm gonna hop in the shower, and once I'm done with that, the wax should be ready to pop out of my little warmer disc, and then we can put some of this stuff in. And I think I'm just gonna throw the wax back into here for easy storage. So one thing that is exciting and also kind of sad, but exciting, is that I'm starting to be able to fully wrap towels around myself again, which is something, some of my towels I've always been able to do it with, but there's others like this one where I was not able to. Now I still have gapping here, okay? It's not closed all the way, but it's pretty close to being closed, and again, I couldn't quite do this. Like I would do it, but I'd have like a gap starting like here, you know? But now it's, you know, almost down past my waist that it's closed. And that's kind of exciting to know there's been some progress, even though I did fall off working on it for like a week and a half. But in my defense, during that time frame, I also had my monthly cycle, and this wasn't a good time. Is it ever a good time? Not really. I don't think it's really an excuse to fall off, but I did. Anyway, I'm gonna get dressed and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. So outfit of the day, I've got on my comfy long sleeve shirt. Technically it's my husband's, but I stole it. He wears it maybe twice a year because I live in it, especially fall and winter time. It's just so comfy. And I love how like it's like long and baggy because it's a men's. And I've got on a pair of little biker shorts. I say little, but they go down to my knee. Where do you guys get your bike shorts at? I would love to get some more. I don't remember where I bought these at because I got them like 2 years ago. But I freaking love them, and they're the only pair I have. And I seen Walmart had some on their website, and I went to buy them, and they were all sold out except for size 4X, which is too big for me. So tell me where you guys buy your bike shorts that are good, that are opaque, that you can't see the booty through. Let me know, because I'd love to find some. But anyways, yeah, that is what I'm wearing today. Nothing overly exciting, just dressing for comfort. Okay, let's see if this thing is ready to pop out. Oh, there it went. That simple. Sometimes don't pop out that easy, and I gotta take a butter knife and just touch it on the edge and then it pops out. But sometimes they come out like that, which is lovely. Just gonna see if he wanted to say hi to the vlog, but he went to the bathroom. So I'm gonna put in my new little wax cubes and go stick it on the burner.
Watch.
It's Wyatt. Look at it.
There it went.
Don't want to get in there? No. That's my thing.
Yeah, we got some flies. I see them. There it went. Yeah, Daddy did hit the ceiling fan.
You did. You get the ceiling fan.
Hey, Levi, you want to try flying it?
Yes.
There. Come here.
Daddy, show you how to do it.
Hold it. Put your hand under it.
No. This one. You did it.
Okay, here's my lunch for today. I've got some green beans. These are the frozen kind that you can just pop in the microwave for like 5 minutes. So I've got half a bag here, and then the other half is over here. I know, I need to clean my stove, I know. Yeah, other half is there for tomorrow's lunch. And then I've got 2 grilled chicken patties with a piece of cheese and some honey mustard for dipping. Hey guys, it's a little later on in the day. I have the air fryer going right now. Chicken nuggets for the boys for dinner. Levi just got home from school. He's telling me he doesn't want to eat, but he is a grump, which means he's hangry. So getting him some nuggets going. I found that just feeding him dinner when he gets home from school, even though it's a little bit early, seems to work better because it puts him in a better mood for the rest of the day, and then he gets like a snack in the evening. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And I just feed him dinner, and I get Ira up from his nap, and he eats dinner, and he gets a snack before bed too. So you guys want to hear a little bit of a maybe funny story? It's going to be adult related content.
I want to stop.
As I mentioned that, here comes mine.
I want to stop.
You want me to put the TV on and then you can watch your shows?
Yes, what's Hot Wheels?
Okay, let's go put Hot Wheels on. Okay, I'm back after a rousing game of which Hot Wheels City episode would you like to watch? And all I heard was no, not this one, not this one, no, no, no. I finally picked. I'm like, dude, I'm not sitting here all day scrolling through Hot Wheels City episodes on YouTube. Tell me what you want or mommy's picking. So anyways, yeah, adult related stories. So forewarned, y'all know we got issues with our neighbors. They don't know we got issues, but we got issues. Okay, we don't love these people. They are drunks. They smoke marijuana, which I don't have anything against people who want to smoke marijuana, but like, good Lord, it stinks. And it drifts into my backyard, and I gotta usher my kids inside, and it smells like a skunk sprayed. I don't know if it's the cheapest stuff, I don't know, but it's the smelliest stuff. Okay, it's nasty. And then the other issue we have with them is they are loud, they like to fight, they stand outside yelling and screaming all hours of the night. There's been time that they play their music well into 2 and 3 in the morning, and they're like blaring it. And they used to have like, I don't know if you call it like a subsystem or what it was, but it was like this large stand-up system in their house, and it would vibrate our house. And thankfully they finally got that repoed, but good Lord, they played it, I'm not kidding, for 3 days straight before somebody called the police. We should have. We didn't, but we should have. Somebody finally did. And the police showed up and told them to turn it off because they played it, not kidding, 3 days straight. Yeah, those kind of people. So there's also random people coming and going all the time, random cars showing up all the time, and they'll be there for like 3 minutes, and somebody will come out of the house, hop in the car, and they sit in the driver's seat for like maybe 3 minutes, and they hop back out and they go back inside the house. I'm like, I see you, okay? I'm not stupid. So yeah, pretty sure that they're dealing, if y'all didn't catch that. So the husband and I are in our garage, which we freshly remodeled, and so we're in there being rather intimate with each other, if you catch my drift, when we hear a car come rumbling down the back alley, which our garage sits right along the side of the back alley. And we hear the car stop, and it's just sitting there rumbling, and we're like, well, it's a truck, but we're like, well, we assume it's a truck. We didn't get out and look, but we're like, why why are they stopped behind our garage, you know? We're just kind of stop what we're doing and we're like listening. And then we hear a car door open and close. Well, it shut rather loudly, like a slam. And there was a lot of cursing involved, and racial slurs that I will not be using here, but just letting you know it wasn't pleasantries. They get out and they're all, again, not nice words, but they're like, "Where's my money?" And my neighbor had a stroke last year. We think probably because he drinks so much. Could be wrong on that, but he doesn't speak well anymore. He's recovered in a lot of ways, which is good. Like, I was really rooting for him, like getting off the booze and like maybe living a better life. And we even overheard an entire fight they had with him, his kids had with him, about his drinking and his pill usage. And that was after his stroke, and they were getting on him about like, you have to stop doing this, like you're just gonna get sick again, like, you know, all this stuff. So apparently he went back on it, which we figured that out when we started seeing him walking back and forth from his house with cases of beer, because they don't have cars, they don't drive, which is probably a good thing because they're intoxicated so much they don't need to drive. But him and his wife several times a day, and even after he had his stroke, she was still several times a day back and forth with cases of beer or brown paper bags that, you know, had bottles of liquor in it. And for a while he didn't do it, and I thought, oh, good for him. Like, he was slimming down and like he was recovering. Like, he walks really well now. For a while he did not walk well. You'd see him like walking with a cane and stuff. Now he's walking without his cane. And my thoughts was, oh good, like he's seen what he was doing to his body, and like he's gonna recover. And then I think it was like maybe 3 months after his stroke last year, we started seeing him walking back and forth with cases of beer and liquor again. And then they started back in with their what's the word, can't understand them fighting, and like back to the same old. But anyway, since he had a stroke, you can't really understand him very well. That's like one thing that didn't recover. So in the back alley, we hear the one person get out and he's like, "Where's my money?" And again, not nice words being used, but YouTube won't allow me to be explicit. "Where's my money?" And very angry sounding. And my neighbor is responding, which we can't really understand him. And then the other guy says some things that we couldn't really understand either. And then it's back into, "Where's my money? I need my money. You better get me my money. Da 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 da." I'm like, oh good lord, like I think we need to put our pants on and get away from the garage in case some things go down out here. Like, you know, we don't need anybody getting popped off and things flying through my garage wall while we're like in a rather compromised position. You know? Just saying, like. But I was stunned, like, why don't you have this conversation by my neighbor's house? He's got a garage right up against the back alley. If you're needing a place to like have your little powwow and talk about the money that is owed, go do it in front of his house. Why are you doing it behind my garage? Because if things start flying that I can't talk about here on YouTube or I get demonetized, I don't need it going through my garage or my house walls, okay? Do it in front of your own. So anyways, yeah, welcome to my life. Hi, hello, you're new. I guess I never introduced myself. Yeah, I'm in a bit of a rough neighborhood, as I've mentioned before. Oddly enough, my street is pretty quiet with exception to my neighbors, but like the next couple streets over, like literally the street behind me and so on and so forth, there's been like drug busts, like, and there's break-ins and robberies, and there's domestic abuse gets called all the time. My town has a local Facebook group that like some people will sit around and listen to the police scanners, and they put in like what's going on and where, and so you'll hop on there, and it's not uncommon for the part close to us to have gang-related issues going on, shootings to be happening, again, drug busts, meth issues, domestic violence that happens a lot around here. Oh, I seen the folks on the well, actually 2 other stories here, I guess. Folks on the corner from us, I guess we don't really know them. They seem nice enough. They have a nice little garden out there, quiet. I'm not sure if it's like a dad and his son, like adult son, and then the 2 grandkids, or like there was a lady there. I have a feeling after this last fight that there's not. I don't really know what the family dynamic is. Again, never met them, but they seem nice and they're fairly quiet. But a couple months ago, a van of a few different ladies was out there, and they were like yelling and screaming at the guy who I think is the father of the 2 little kids, and they were like getting into it, and fists were being thrown. And then the other guy who lives in the house, who I'm thinking maybe is like the grandpa, but like he looks like he's in his 40s to 50s, so like a young grandpa, he comes out and is telling everybody like get off his property. He pays for this place, so they need to get out, and like they can't be on this backyard. And this older lady is back there, because again there's a younger lady who I think is baby mama that used to live there and got kicked out, and then there's another lady with her who might be like her mom, and she was like, you can't make me leave, I'm not leaving, da, 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 da. And she's like sitting in the middle of the yard like, I won't leave. And he's like, you need to get out of my yard. She's like, you can't make me. And I'm like, what's wrong with these people? But yeah, fists were thrown. There was another guy that came with baby mama, and him and baby daddy were throwing some fists at each other. And then the folks across the street from those people several months ago, I don't know if this lady just had a psychotic break or what it was, but her and her man person, I don't know. I don't even know these people. So maybe they're like not even together. I don't know what their relationship is. And I couldn't hear it because it was like across the street, like it was a ways across the street, but I could see it and I could hear the yelling, but I couldn't really hear the words, you know? And they're yelling and screaming at each other, and she's like hitting him, and she picked up a lawn chair and launched it at him. And like he's surprisingly seeming relatively level-headed and letting her ride this out, and just trying to, like, as she'd pick things up and throw it, he'd pick it up and put it back, because their porch is kind of cluttery. Like there's a lot of stuff out there. And it was a whole thing. And then I finally at one point, like a cell phone got thrown, and like he went back inside the house and locked it, and then she's like banging on the door, and I heard her yell, you locked me out. Like that was like the one thing I could understand. There's probably others I could understand, but it's been several months. I just remember that in particular. And then he comes back outside, and we're yelling and screaming, and she's in and out of like this chair on the porch, and she's like yelling and screaming really hard, getting really worked up. I think she hit him a few times, and then like she just passed out, like full on dropped, just out dropped. And I see him, no joke, open the door, grab her by her ankles, and drag her back in the house. And at that point I called the police, because I'm like, okay, this is, she passed out and you just drug her in by her ankles. Like this is not okay. I mean, the whole thing's not okay to begin with, but he wasn't laying any hands on her, and though she was being verbally and physically abusive with him, like he seemed to be holding his own. But then when he drug her into the house by her ankles and she's unconscious, I'm like, I think I need to call the police. And then he took off. Like, I don't know what was going on with her, but he just took off. And then a few minutes later, you see her come out the front door and then go around to the side of her house and sit down in a heap. And then the police showed up, and I see them talking to her. But then they walked around the back side of the house, and I don't know what happened from there. But I'm like, good Lord. What is wrong with these people? So anyways, that was our fun little adventure this afternoon. My kids' chicken nuggets are done, so I'm going to get their dinner plates ready. My eyes look extra green right now. Sometimes they go brown, other times they go green. And they're looking really green, and I'm here for it. Good morning. It is Tuesday. I'm going to have some more cottage cheese and pineapple. There's only a little bit of cottage cheese left, like one serving, so I'm like, why dirty a bowl? Just throw it in here. Then we'll rinse that out and throw it in the recycling. So I got up way too late this morning. It's like 9 o'clock, and I pretty much just rolled out of bed. Yoshi is gonna drink a gallon of water while I'm talking, because this is what he does. So yeah, I just didn't want to get out of bed this morning. We did not have our ceiling fan on last night in our room, and it just felt like it got so hot. I had a hard time sleeping. So yeah, 9 a.m. just rolled out of bed. I'm not a morning person to begin with, but and then the boys weren't waking up. I'm like, I just want to lay here. So I did. But because I did that, now I don't have time to go get my walk-in this morning. So I'll have to go and do that after I drop Levi off for school. And the thing that sucks about that is it'll like cut almost an hour out of Ira's nap time. But I need to get my walk-in. That being said, this was the first morning that I've looked in the mirror and really felt like I noticed a difference. One of my subscribers, Danielle, she made a comment on my last vlog and said that she could tell a difference in my face thinning down. And I really appreciate that. It kind of gave me some motivation to get back to walking, because like I said, like I wasn't really seeing a difference in myself. I could notice how my clothes were fitting different, but like when I looked in the mirror, I wasn't really seeing a difference. However, I did feel like my face was starting to look a little bit thinner, but then I thought like maybe it was just my head, and then she said it and I was like, oh, maybe it really is. Maybe I really am. Ooh, that siren's going off. I was like, maybe, you know, really there is a difference happening. I don't know. But this was the first morning that I've looked in the mirror and thought I seen a difference in my body. Like, I felt like my waistline looked a little bit thinner, which is a nice feeling. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, and then now I don't know where I was going with it. But anyways, I'm going to eat my breakfast and get the boys up, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later on. Okay, right in the middle of eating breakfast, I remembered what I was going to talk to you guys about. So when I went to donate plasma last week, I got to look at the scale. Sometimes they have them turned away from you, but there's this like little room that they'll have you go in sometimes to do your vitals, which before you can go in and donate, they have to like prick your finger, make sure your blood levels are okay. They take your weight, they take your pulse, your temperature, and just make sure like everything's good. And your weight, how that works is it kind of determines how much plasma you're going to donate along with your blood work. So once they prick your finger and they see all your levels with all that, which I don't really understand everything they're looking for, but once they see all your levels and then your weight, they kind of determine how much you're going to donate. So normally they have like this desk that you go to that's like has like 3 different computers for 3 different sets of people doing check-ins, doing vitals. But they also have these 2 rooms off to the side, which are also rooms for doing vitals. And I got put into one of the rooms, which doesn't happen often, but if they get super busy, they'll open up a room to put you in. And with the scales at the front desk, where they have like the three, I don't know what you want to call it, like places to sit or whatever where they check your vitals. Those scales face away from you, so you can't see the numbers. But the ones in one of the rooms, as the reader thing is hung right on the wall right in front of the scale, so if you get on that one, you can see it. And as I've mentioned before, I don't own a scale. I KonMari'd that. It was not bringing me joy. I'm one of those people that when I start trying to like get healthy or like exercise or anything like that, if I have a scale, if I'm tracking my calories, if I'm measuring the inches of my body, I become obsessive with the number. And I don't think there's any way to live. Like, I just get obsessive with it. Like, constantly checking it, constantly obsessing over what I'm eating. Like, I don't want to live where I'm just obsessing about food and what my next meal is going to be and how much I can eat of it. And, like, I don't want to live like that. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, you know, the last 3 days I've done great, but then, you know, I did pretty good today, but I also had a cookie, and so I'm just going to beat myself up over that. Like, that's no way to live. And that's how I've always done weight loss in the past, and that's how I've always fallen off the bandwagon, so to speak. Sorry, my dog and my cat are, well, the dog thinks they're playing. The cat is looking rather annoyed. So they're romping around. But anyway, that I've always fallen off because I can't keep up. It's like it's a miserable way to live. It really is. And if you've been there, you know, like, it's not fun to sit around. Sorry, there's no good place to sit. It's not fun to sit around and obsess about food and what you're going to eat all the time. So I've stopped tracking it. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. My hair looks so greasy right now. I've not brushed it yet, but it's that dark hair color is making my hair look greasy. I need to brush it though. Not being brushed is not helping. So this is like second day hair. But anyway, yeah, I just don't think that obsessing like that is healthy. It's not a good mindset to be in. And so as I've mentioned in my last vlog, I'm just trying to make better life choices where instead of like, oh, I had carbs all day long, and, you know, she's back to drinking water. Oh my gosh. Are you done yet? So instead of like, you know, carbs for breakfast, carbs for lunch, carbs for dinner, carbs all day long, like, as you guys have been seeing, I'm trying to eat like a more fruit and veg based diet. I have not gotten rid of cheeses because I love cheese. And I have not gotten rid of sauces because I need flavor, right? Like, so like some honey mustard, ranch, whatever to dip things in. I'm allowing it. If I want a sweet snack, I get like an apple or some grapes. And if I want like a savory, salty snack, I've been grabbing carrots and some dip, you know. And I could go the obsessive route and be like, well, I can't have this dip because there's calories, and I can't have ranch on my salad because calories, so I need to eat vinaigrette on things. And like, I don't want to live like that, right? Like, the fact that like I had cottage cheese, which was 80 calories for a serving with 2 scoops of chunked pineapple or whatever, sliced, I don't know. You know, it was a filling meal. It'll get me through to lunch. It tasted delicious. It was sweet. You know, I'm an American. I like my sweets, okay? Like, I don't think it's a realistic thing to tell people they need to go in and completely change what they've always known. That's hard, you know? And like, as a lot of folks know, the American diet is very full of sugar and very sweet. And like, you know, I know there's people who do the keto and they obsess over, well, I can't have fruit because fruit has carbs. Well, a certain amount of carbs is good for you. And yes, it's got fruit in it. It's fructose. And yes, your body's going to treat it like a sugar, but I feel like eating some pineapple is a lot different than eating a chocolate bar, because yes, they both have sugar in them, but like, the pineapple stops at being pineapple, whereas the chocolate bar has a whole list of other ingredients along with preservatives, which I think preservatives is a big part of our problem when it comes to weight issues in this country. And the reason I say that is because the last time I tried to go on a diet similar to this, and I ended up losing like, I think it was like almost 20 or 30 pounds. No, maybe it was like, I can't remember. It was like 15 to 20 to 25 pounds, somewhere in there. And this is several years ago, like 5 years ago. But I lost a nice chunk of weight in like 3 months because I went low carb. But the thing that I was focusing on, because I didn't even know what keto was 5 years ago, the thing that I focused on was getting away from preservatives. And I really tried to eat less preserved foods, more natural foods. Like when you guys see me eat the green beans and the chicken breast. Or, I mean, those chicken patties are processed. I know. But I've got them on hand. I'm trying to get them used up. But ideally, I'd be eating the green beans and like a fresh or frozen chicken breast that has nothing added to it. It's just the chicken breast. And there's nothing added to the green beans until I put a little bit of salt on them myself. Which it looked like a lot of salt, but I've got that pink Himalayan salt, so like a little bit of that, and it like, the color of the pink really contrasted against the green. I don't know how that showed up yesterday, but it looked like a ton of salt, and it wasn't. It was just a sprinkling of it. But yeah, like I feel like getting away from a lot of processed foods. I think it's a lot of the chemicals and the food dyes and when I say chemicals, I mean like the preservatives in our foods. I feel like a lot of that is the problem. Anyway, I only have that line of thinking because I was able to lose quite a bit of weight quickly the last time I tried to really cut back on the amount of foods I was eating that had preservatives in them. I'm trying to choose the way I speak because people will be like, well, everything's made up of chemicals and everything is processed, and I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying. So what I'm trying to say is getting away from preservatives in food, things that I can't understand. Like when it comes to reading the ingredient list, right? Like everything that's on the back of that soda can right there, you know? And yes, I'm still allowing myself a soda, but like one a day, you know? Everything in moderation, trying to make healthier choices, trying to be more fruit and veg, and lean-ish meats. I guess hamburger patties aren't super lean. I've been eating quite a bit of those, but like it's just the burger patty with a piece of cheese, and it tastes good. It's cheaper than steak, okay? I can't afford to do steak with every meal. So anyway, that's just kind of what I'm doing. And my starting weight, I don't know exactly what my starting weight was a month ago because I don't have a scale. But when I got on the scale at the donation center last week, it was at 295, which in my opinion is a little scary. That's high. That's almost 300 pounds, okay? Like it might as well be, you know, round it up. I don't know what it was at my starting weight. I don't know how much weight I lost, if I lost any weight at all. I'd like to think that I did, but then also the thought that I may have been 300 pounds or heavier is kind of scary. And I say that just because the heavier you are, the more likely you are to start having health issues like diabetes, which is something I would really like to avoid having someday. My grandma has it. I've seen her battle it her whole life. It does not look like fun. And as much as I'm okay with like trying to cut back on like heavily processed sugars, however you want to say that, you know, eating fruit's fine, but like, you know, cutting back on lots of sweets and carbs, doing this can still have carbs and stuff like that instead of having to go all diet on everything, which I hate the taste of aspartame. I just can't. I can't do diet sodas. I can't do light flavored yogurts. I can't do, oh God, I'd rather just not have any. It's just, I don't know how people do it. I don't. So anyway, with that all being said, I know that as of last week, I weigh 295 pounds. And yeah, so I just need to get back on the bandwagon of, you know, going for my walks, getting in that 30 minutes a day. Isn't that what they recommend anyways? Get like 30 minutes in of like elevated heart rate or something like that every day. That's all you really need or something. Like, I don't know. So yeah, to get back into doing all of that. And the dog is now licking his dong. And I think you can probably hear it. Anyway, I'm gonna get these kids up and get going for the day. So I came out to the garage to load up the double stroller in my car so I can go for my walk. And then I got to thinking, and I'm like, if I'm only taking one kid with me, I really don't need the double stroller. I can just use the single stroller, but that is all the way up there. Can you even see it? I don't know. It's in the rafters. Do we see it now? There it is. There's the single stroller. But here's the issue with that. It's in the rafters. So I'm gonna dig out the ladder and see if I can get it down without hurting myself. We shall see how this goes. Did y'all see that brace for impact on my face? I wasn't sure if it wasn't gonna come back and hit me in the back of the legs. I really wasn't sure how that was gonna go. I know you can't see from here, but there's an ottoman that it fell on and then it hit the ottoman and bounced off. But that thing was harder to get down than I expected. See, I've got a fear of heights, and even being up on a ladder makes me a little uncomfortable. So that's why I was a little bit nervous about getting it. Not because it's heavy, or not because I thought it was an awkward position, but because I had to get on the ladder. But then I found out a part of it was like hooked over one of the rafters, which made things more complicated. So I had to get on the other side of the ladder to try to push it over the rafter. And I wasn't sure how to pull it forward without hurting myself or hurting the stroller. And then I didn't really want to drop it like that, but I figured at least it'd lay on the ottoman and have a cushion to fall before it rolled off. I wasn't sure it'd roll off or stay on, but it fell down and hit that and went over there. So I've got my stroller down. Hey guys, I just finished my walk. I did not film any while walking because I did not have the clip on the edge of my stroller like I do on the double stroller, and so I had to hold Yoshi's leash in one hand. Normally I've got like this large clip that I put his leash on, so I don't have to hold it, and then I can push the stroller and film and stuff. Didn't have it because I left it on the double stroller, so I had to hold his leash in one hand and then also hold the stroller to push. And that stroller is I love it. It's a great stroller. But I've gotten so used to having the big double stroller, which is a lot more sturdy and bigger and weighs more because it's just bigger, that pushing this one was super lightweight, and I could feel Yoshi kept like trying to, oh, like this bee in here. It like keeps flying out of my sunroof and then back in. Just close that and remove the option. I guess I'll put the AC on until we get driving. So, sorry, that was super loud. AC on. Where's my adjusters? Guys, I don't think I will ever want to have a car again that has touchscreen. It's annoying. It's fancy pants and looks nice, but you cannot mess with it while you're driving. Whereas when you have buttons, you just know where the buttons are and you can feel for them and you know where they're at. With this, like, you literally have to look at it to make adjustments and... Stop! You're gonna get me demonetized. So like, you can't mess with it when you're driving. You need to have it set before you take off. Otherwise, it's a total pain. Mini car review. So anyway, yeah, got my walk in, and now I'm gonna head out to my LuLaRoe consultant's house. She did like this really big like auction thing over the weekend, and I bought one shirt off of her. It's not cute and it's not something I would typically want to buy, but my job doing food samples, which has not come back yet, but it requires me to wear a white button-down shirt, and she had a white button-down shirt. These are normally like $42 shirts that she sells, and normally they have prints on them, but she just had one and it was white. And I was able to get it for $10 on the auction, which is about what I would pay out in town if I went to go buy a white button-down anyways, which I need a new one for whenever my job comes back. So I just went ahead and bought it since it was on super clearance. And so I'm gonna go pick that up. I kind of think she's getting out of the LuLaRoe thing. I've heard a lot of things about LuLaRoe having like a lot of lawsuits on them and people are getting out of it. I haven't seen her like getting new stuff in very often. And it's rare that she does these like major sales. What she calls them is like a auction. So like all bids start at $10 and you have until midnight and you're like bidding against other people. So like say I want a shirt and Sally Sue wants a shirt. Well, I put in 10 and then she come in and put 11 and then I have to come back in and put 12, and whoever at midnight has the highest bid gets the shirt. So nobody else bid against me, which is not surprising. It's a very boring shirt and just like I said, plain white button down. But if and when my job ever comes back, I will need it. And as I mentioned in my last video, I did finally get the money from the pandemic relief fund that I had applied for because my job had been furloughed. My job has come back in a sense that like our department hasn't come back, but like they'll let you come in and help like clean the store and stuff. And so when you file for unemployment, one of the things is that you have to be looking for work, or you have to go back to your job at some point, or the government can come back at you for the money. So my husband and I talked about it, and I think starting this Sunday I'm going to start going back to work and just cleaning the stores. I am nervous about going back because I've heard people are super rude and nasty in grocery stores right now, and I asked my boss, I was like, if people are still being super hateful, and she's like, no, let's calm down, like people are super nice, especially like when you're cleaning the carts. And I'm like, I don't really want to clean the shopping carts, but one of the options is like folding and arranging clothing, and I'm like, I'm down for that. I love folding laundry. This guy's not happy because he's normally napping at this point. So anyways, I'm gonna start going back to work on Sunday, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna stick it out through at least Christmas, and then we'll see. My husband said that if I want to quit, I can, because I'm making as much on YouTube as I was at my job, so we don't really need it for bills like we did, but it'll be nice having that money set aside for Christmas gifts this year. And then who knows, maybe I will like cleaning the store and folding clothes and running boxes back to the trash compactor. We'll see. Maybe I'll enjoy it better than handing out food samples and decide I want to stick around. But at least this time I have options, and I'm not there because I have to be there. I'm there because I want to be there, I guess. Kind of different. But we'll go and give it a try and see. And, you know, if it's absolutely horrible and I hate it and people are super hateful and nasty, I can just quit. You know, get a couple weeks in and then I can just quit. So we'll see. It feels so good to finally be in a place to be like, I don't have to work unless I want to. That's how we were when we first had Levi. I didn't have to work unless I just wanted to, and I stayed home for a while, but then we got ourselves in a financial bind, bought ourselves a fancy pants car that we couldn't afford, had to go back to work. It was a whole thing. So now we're finally 5 years later coming back out of that, and I was like, man, it feels good to be like, I can just stay home with the kids if I want to. I don't really have to go back to work. But anyways, otherwise I do have to go back to work so the government doesn't come back at me for the pandemic relief fund. I have to go back for that. But other than that, which I just have to go back for a little while to prove I went back to work, and then if I quit on my own, I quit on my own, you know? So, anyways, I'm gonna head out to go pick up that LuLaRoe shirt because it's gonna take like 30 minutes to get out there. And yeah, anyways, what I was getting at with her, I think she's getting out of the LuLaRoe business because she's just not getting new inventory in very often. And once she is done selling LuLaRoe, I will stop buying it. I really like her as a person. She seems super sweet, and I like her page. It's fun when she, like, you know, has sales and posts, and she's interactive, and so I'm on there for her. But I've gotten rid of all the other consultants that I follow, and when she's out, she started selling like these fake lashes, and I think she's kind of transitioning out of LuLaRoe into just doing fake lashes, and I'm not interested in buying those. So once she's completely done with the LuLaRoe, then I'm gonna stop buying it. But if she keeps doing these sales like she's been, like, well, like she did on Sunday, I'll keep buying it if I can get it super cheap, because I do like their clothes. I don't like their business practices. I would never personally want to work for them, but I'll go ahead and keep buying from my LuLaRoe consultant until she gets out of it. So anyways, let's go pick up that shirt. Okay guys, I am hella early to pick Levi up from school. We're talking like half an hour early, but I didn't want to go home because, I mean, I did stop at Aldi for some milk, and I bought a few things that, like, we don't normally buy from Aldi. It's like junky, snacky type of stuff. Not great to have at home, but it's some things that I've always wanted to try, and I'm always like, I don't feel like I got the money for it. So I bought a few little things there. I'll do a little Aldi haul when I get back home. But if I went home to put away groceries, I'd have to take this guy inside and do the groceries, and it's like, ooh, you know, so, and then I have to pack him back up to get back out here. So I thought, we'll just go and pick up some drinks. I accidentally ordered a large. I wasn't thinking. I'm so used to ordering larges. Like, I know for like the last month I've been trying to order mediums, and this is the second time that I've ordered a large in the past, well, since all of August when I started trying to do smaller portion sizes. And I just wasn't thinking, and I'm still in the habit of just saying a large. Like, I gotta think about saying medium, which sounds so dumb, but it's true. I'm so used to just getting a large. And then I got Levi his favorite sweet tea, so I went ahead and picked him up that so he could have it when he gets out of school. And I didn't have a lunch today, though I did eat a ice cream sandwich when I got in the car, because it's one of the things I bought at Aldi. It's one of those cookie, like M&M cookie ice cream sandwiches. I love those things, but I never buy them because they're expensive and they're just not good for you. But you know what they say about, that guy knows. You know what they say about going grocery shopping when you're hungry. Don't do it. And so when I stopped for drinks, I also picked up some breadsticks because he's getting hungry. So I thought him and I can just sit out here and eat some breadsticks and wait until Bubby is ready to get out of school. Okay, let's go ahead and do this little Aldi haul, and then I'm gonna get Levi and Ira their dinner ready. So I got 2 of their peach waters. They're carbonated. Hopefully they taste good. I'm a little worried they're gonna be like a seltzer water, which we don't like. But Walmart has a really good peach flavored water that we have not been able to find for a while because they're just constantly sold out of it. So hopefully this tastes like that. I got a gallon of milk. I really should be buying these like 2 at a time because we go through like a gallon a week right now, but I'm buying as we go, I guess. I got a case of their peach tea. It's supposed to be like Snapple, and it was like almost $4, and I think Snapple's regular close to $6 for a 6-pack. So I thought we'd give it a try. I've never tried the Snapple peach tea, but I had peach tea from Peace Tea a few, like, I think maybe last month, and it was delicious. So I'm hoping this is just as good as that. Here's that box of ice cream sandwiches I told you about. I already ate one, but it was so delicious. Gonna see if I can get my kid to eat the rest of them. Large pack of crackers because we're out and my children live on these. Cottage cheese because I ran out this morning and I still got pineapple left. I got some caramel apple creams. They are cookies and they just sound delicious. So do you guys remember these suckers, like the caramel apple suckers? I think they still sell them. Loved those when I was a kid, so I'm interested to see how these taste. Picked up some steak seasoning because we are almost out. Kills me because I know you can get this for like $1 at the Dollar Tree. However, last time I was at Dollar Tree looking for their stone mill seasonings, I couldn't find them. So either they're out or they're not getting any more in. I don't really know, But Aldi wants like $2 something for these, and Dollar Tree wants $1 for these. But, oh well, we're about out of steak seasoning, and I really like it on my broccoli and burger when I do that for lunch. And then I picked up some beer mustard. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but it sounded intriguing. I like beer cheese, so let me know. What do you guys put beer mustard on? I picked up a thing of these Mimo Mochi ice creams. I've been seeing these every time I go in, and I'm really intrigued by them. This one is sweet mango. The other one they had was chocolate. And I'm not the biggest chocolate ice cream fan. And then they also had macaroons. I always want to get macaroons because they look so tasty, but I never buy them. And these are frozen macaroons. Last bag of goodies. I got their, what is it? Aged cheddar and black pepper lattice chips. I love these, but they're almost $3 a bag. So I don't buy these very often. A couple times a year I'll treat myself to those. Lay's used to make that kind of chip and I loved it. They're probably the same price, but I haven't seen them on the shelf in ages, but Aldi still has them. Some Clancy's white cheddar popcorn for Levi. He loves this stuff, and don't let me fool you, I like it too, but he is a big fan. And the last thing in here is this bread. I think you call it a brioche. Not really sure, but it's a chocolate chip bread. I've heard it being talked about online, like Facebook articles about all these stuff always talks about how good this chocolate chip brioche is, and I've always wanted to try it. So let's do a little taste test of all these goodies, and I'll let you know what I think, if they're worth it. And I'll put all this stuff away, and hopefully I'm not the one that eats everything. Okay, a little piece of the bread here. It's fluffy and smells good. That's a bit of a letdown. It just tastes like white bread with chocolate chips in it. I don't know why people love it so much. It literally tastes like white sandwich bread with chocolate chips. I think what we will do with this is some French toast, because that would be delicious. As is, little off-putting, a little bit weird, because again, it just tastes like white sandwich bread with chocolate chips in it. That's a little odd. Disappointed. Won't be buying again. Because I've been looking at this stuff for years. Because, like I said, probably like the last 2 or 3 years, I've heard good things about it. People talking about it on Facebook, online, and advertised. And I'm always like, man, I want to try it. But I think it's almost $3 for this loaf. And I just could never bring myself to buy it. And, man, save yourself the money if you've been thinking about it too. Like I said, white sandwich bread with chocolate chips. Unless that's your thing. Unless you like eating white sandwich bread with chocolate chips. To each their own, but not for me. Okay, let's try these macaroons. They are supposed to be frozen, but they've been sitting in my trunk for half an hour, so. The milk was still cold though, and that's the whole thing I went into all these for was milk, because we were out. So hopefully these are still okay. So it looks like we probably have, let me see what the flavors are. Are they listed anywhere on the box? We have 2 of each. Raspberry, vanilla, pistachio, salted caramel. Did I say caramel or caramel? Let me know. I kind of interchange. Lemon and chocolates. Let's see. I kind of want to try, oh, do I want to try the raspberry or do I want to try the pistachio? The raspberry looks like it has a jelly filling. And everything else looks like it has a cream filling. I'm gonna try the pistachio. Okay, they have like a crispy outside. If y'all had macarons, you already know about this, but like I've never had one. So I don't think I have. So it kind of has like a bit of a, I want to call it a shell, because I've seen how you make these and I know it's all the same dough, but like the outside got a little crispy and the inside is ooey gooey, if you can see that there, and then the middle has a cream filling. So this one is pistachio. Chewier than I expected. Very sweet. They're good. And they're very good. I don't know if they're $4, but they're good. They're good. I probably won't buy them again though. You know, I got to try it. We'll try the other flavors and see at some point. Not all right now. That'd be too much. But I don't see myself being in a hurry to repurchase. Like I said, it was nice to try. It tastes good, but I'm not like floored by it, you know. Okay, let's try the my mochi. Oh, those are bigger than I thought they were gonna be. I was not expecting that. I was thinking like little things like the macaroons. I thought they were gonna be little things. Okay, this is bigger than I thought. So this is supposed to be premium ice cream wrapped in sweet pillowy dough. It's already melting. Let's see which one's gonna be the easiest to pull out. Oh, okay. I can't pick any of these up. They're all way melty. Ugh. That's a mess. Don't let them sit in your car for half an hour. That mango ice cream tastes almost a lot more like a sherbet, or do you say sorbet? It tastes a lot more like a sherbet. But I could do the out the chewy dough. Think of like raw pie crust. Somewhere between a mixture of, it's not quite as thin as a pie crust, it's a bit fluffier. It's almost like biscuit dough. Think of like raw biscuit dough, but without that buttermilk flavoring, and adding a hint of mango to it. It's just weird. It's just weird. To me, it's weird. I know that that's probably, this is like, I don't know. I feel like this is, since it's called mochi ice cream, mochi, I think that's like a Japanese thing. So, you know, for folks in Japan, maybe China, I can't remember if it's Japan or China, or maybe it's all of Asia. I don't know, but this is probably very normal in that part of the world. But for here, that's a little weird. Maybe it would have been better if it was fully frozen. The ice cream was nearly melted. So I'm gonna go pop this in the freezer really quickly. But I'm not gonna be in a big hurry to repurchase. So, and I do want to say that the mango ice cream was very tasty. Like if I could just buy like a carton of that, it's a lot more like a sherbet. I mean, you can definitely taste there's a bit of like a milk product to it. So kind of like ice cream, but a lot more on the sherbet side of things, in my opinion. But I could just buy like a container of that. That was good. But that dough, throwing me off. I don't know about that. Okay, let's try these caramel apple crisps. So that is what this looks like. First thing I smell is caramel, very strong. As soon as I hit it here, caramel up the nose. There's a slight taste of apple to it, but mostly just getting caramel. If you like caramel, I think you'll really like these. If you like those caramel apple suckers and the caramel part of them is your favorite, I think you'll really like these. If you're looking for more of a sweet tart apple flavor, you're gonna miss out. I mean, it's there, but it's very mild. So, I think it's safe to say that all of that stuff is a little bit of a flop. I don't think I'll be repurchasing any of it. Anyway, that was fun to try. It's things I've been looking at the grocery store for a few months to a few years, and I've been wanting to try and just never buying it. So now I've tried it, got it out of my system. I know to avoid it. I wasted $38. Well, not the full 38. I got my milk, I got my chips, I got my cottage cheese, you know, the things that I did want, but the snacky stuff I kind of wasted my money on, but we had fun trying it. That's what matters. And then here is my LuLaRoe shirt. This is a lot softer than I expected it, and it is much more of an off-white. I thought it was like actually white, but it's very soft and very stretchy. So whenever food samples come back, if I'm still working that job, I will have a shirt. If not, I have a shirt. Okay, I think we're gonna end this vlog here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you are new, I hope you decide to hit the subscribe button and also check out my channel, see if there's anything else you would like to watch, because I'd love to have you here. And if you've been here for a while, I want to say thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me, sticking with me, and I hope to connect with you guys in the comments down below. It really helps with, you know, the whole algorithm. If you guys want to leave a little comment, even just like a happy face, a heart, kissy face, let me know you watched. And yeah, I hope to catch you guys in my next video. So, bye.